Right. Good morning. It is officially 2:34 a.m. on a super early Thursday morning in August, and we are filming my photo shoot for my upcoming 35th birthday. Oh my goodness, 35. Wow. I say this every year, but I'm always like, what? 30? Like, but what a blessing. Getting older is always a blessing, and that's one of the reasons why I do these, birthday photo shoots and celebrate my 30s, and to welcome in the upcoming year. And yeah, it's been a blessing, and I am really tired, but I'm super excited for this photo shoot. We are collaborating again with Jenny, who is an amazing, talented photographer, and I love her energy and her mind and everything. And she is sleeping right now, so I'm not gonna bother her. Closer to 4. The reason why we're up so early is because we're doing this year's photo shoot at the beach, and we want to do it while the sun is rising. So we're trying to get at the beach by 5:30. It's about an hour drive from Boston. It's a beautiful beach. I've never been, but I've seen it online, and I was at a beach close to it. So, oh my gosh, I was like, I didn't even know beaches like this existed in Massachusetts. Because I'm so tired, and because I know I'm really slow in the morning, I have to do the majority of this makeup tutorial as a voiceover. I'm going to do as much I can of at least explaining to you the theme, but then after that I'm just going to focus on doing the makeup, and I'll do the voiceover and tell you all about it. As you can see, I have a wig cap on because we are doing something different for this year. Every year I try to switch it up, something different, so that way when I look at my portfolio I'm like, yes, variety, and more importantly, it's so fun. So this year's photo shoot is inspired by a photo I saw of the icon, the legendary Iman. And I saw this photo of Iman, and I was like, oh my god, I want to look like that. I want to be like that. Like, it's so beautiful, but it's like a soft beauty. You know what I mean? It's like a soft beauty, but it's radiant at the same time. You could tell that this is a queen in front of you, but it's just like the confidence and like it's definitely giving me, remember the time, video by Michael Jackson in that era. Either way, like, it's soft, it's regal, it's beautiful, and something about her confidence, it just makes me like, I'm just so like, but like, I don't know, it's like the photo's not only like beauty in the eye, I can see the beauty in the inside. It seems like the way she's like, her energy in the photos like gives off that vibe of just like knowing yourself, confident, and just like, but still knowing that there's so much more to learn. maybe I'm overthinking it, but I saw this photo, that's exactly what I thought of all those things. But when I saw it maybe like 2 years ago, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna lock in the back of my mind, that's gonna be a photo shoot inspiration one day. And then 35th birthday's coming up, and I was like, this is the perfect photo shoot for this. And you know why? Because all the things I just described to you about how I feel about when I look at that font, I feel like I'm so much closer to it now, because year 34 has been one of the best years of my 30s because of the peace that it's given me. But most importantly, this year is still granting me this, because as I'm filming this, I'm still in year 34. It's really allowed me to finally understand that I have always been enough. But let me just get ready, because it's about to be, it's 2:45 now. I need to get ready. So I will explain to you everything about this look in the voiceover as I put my wig on. So, tuned. Voiceover time. So 4 days before my photo shoot, I went to the hair store to get products to prepare for my first human hair wig. And from YouTube University, it seemed like it was necessary to wash her, to condition her, and basically get her prepped up before I actually started styling her and all that stuff. So as you can see, I'm washing, I'm conditioning, and this process really made me feel like a hairstylist for real. I was like, oh my goodness, because from the advertisements, this wig is really supposed to be a glueless wig, but what I learned is that you still gotta kind of glue her down. Like,
she's gonna look a little awkward if, you know, the lace is showing and all that other stuff. So this is my first time figuring this out. Thank God for YouTube University. Thank God for all those content creators for putting all that good information out. I tried my best. As you can see right now, I'm just like blow drying my wig. By the way, I don't have a name for her yet, but she's gorgeous. She's like beautiful redheaded curly hair wig, and it just was beautiful. So here, you know, I'm just kind of trying to part it. I wanted to give a side part because I feel like a side part frames my beautiful face a lot better. And yeah, I'm just like kind of detangling and trying to, I guess, what is this called, like diffusing? I don't even know. But anyways, I was just blow drying her and, you know, putting some product to just make sure that the curls pop out. So then this is where it kind of got a little challenging for me, for real, because I'm trying to figure out how to put this wig on without like my wig cap showing. And I was like, I don't know, it just was like really challenging for me to figure out, because I was like, this is supposed to be glueless. I thought this was going to be super easy, but I guess it was a little challenging for me. So, you know, don't want to give up. I'm just trying to figure out, again, as you see, I'm trying to side part it because I feel like a side part frames my heart-shaped face better. And then I was just like, all right, let me just like, you know, take my time. I literally have days before my photo shoot to figure this out. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Farrah, remember when we were watching our YouTube University? We have to get the lace spray thingy. So this lace spray thingy like basically like sprays the lace in like the color of your scalp, which I got the color, and then it blends in more with the wig cap. Now, just letting you know, again, this is my first time, so I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. The thing that I was just putting on like my forehead basically is like this spray adhesive, if I'm saying that right, to basically keep that lace down, but also for it to kind of melt into my scalp. And it worked. You know, I was really excited here. I was like, okay, here we go, I'm getting it done. This is so great for me to figure out way before you know, the actual day that I will start filming.
Like, I still see the lace, so I don't really know what to do with that. But at least I got it on. I did the cut. It already looks kind of cool.
It looks kind of cool indeed. It looks so pretty. I was so proud of myself. So basically this next step, I'm just trying to get this hair clip to stay in. It wasn't staying in, so I was like, let me just go ahead and get a million bobby pins.
Oh, this is really pretty. I think this could work. I just have to put a bobby pin in there to like keep it. Cause I'm like, first I was like, how is this even practical? But I think that's the look. I think that's really pretty.
I agree. And I'm so happy again that I like experimented, took my time to figure this out way before me actually filming the day of photo shoot prep. So this is the day right now. The clip that you're seeing is the day that I'm actually getting ready for the photo shoot. And I'm basically doing the same steps that I did before. At this point, I'm like, okay, you know, one thing I did learn, like you see me put in the spray adhesive with like my fingers. One thing I did get from TikTok University is that I could just use a makeup brush, so that way when I put that spray adhesive, my fingers won't get sticky and it's just a cleaner application. So that's what I've been doing since then, because best believe I invested in this wig and I'm gonna wear it a few times.
So for this year's makeup, I really wanted to channel Iman, basically. I was like, you know what, I think usually too with my photo shoots, besides like a theme that I go to, really what I start off with is a color. So like if you see all of my photos so far, last 4 years has been like a main color. So this year I was like, you know what, I think I want to go, since I'm like in this softness and just, I guess I've got to embrace my soft girl life, which is what I manifested. Like I really did. I remember year 33 I manifested that when I was in Thailand. So yeah, it's amazing to see like what you put out into the universe, and the universe will respond, especially if your actions align. Anyways, saving that for the voiceover. But this year's color, I really wanted to go with like a soft brown, and so the makeup is going to be that. It's going to be like I think when I look at Iman's picture, she had like really a good dramatic, like a soft dramatic eye. Maybe what I'm trying to say is like a soft smoky eye, and so that's what I'm kind of going for. And a brown lip, so basically soft what do they call this, like a soft cafe inspired look or mocha look. I'm not really sure. I know the girlies have a name for it on Pinterest. I don't remember. I'll look it up, but that's what I'm going for. The mocha kind of look, browns, and a little bit of gold. Like, I'm really excited. I got this gold eyeshadow off of TikTok. TikTok will make you be broke, but it really inspired me. That's how I got my weight from TikTok too. I was like, wow, that looks really good. I want to get something like that. But anyways, that's what the makeup look is gonna go to, and I will explain more in the voiceover. Also, look at my nails. Shout out to my nail technician. She's so great. But yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, you know what I've discovered during chapter 34 is that gold is definitely my power color. Like when I wear gold, this was the first time I've ever gotten like gold nail polish on my nails, and I was like, wow, this has really changed the game for me. Like there's something about it that just makes me feel so like feminine, but also very confident. And like I don't know, like this year I started incorporating more golds into like my wardrobe and everyday wear, and like it really just makes me feel like makes me sit up straight, like remember who you are type of thing. So that was something that's been really cool to discover this year, of like the power of colors and how they could really shift your mood. And I think it really fits in line with like the blessings that I've been able to get this year, of really like finally knowing my self-worth, and you know, making sure that like when I step out into the world, I step out confidently. And I would have to say gold, it helps me do that.
Eyebrows.
So basically what I've discovered is that the look that the name of the look that I was mentioning before is called the latte makeup look.
The arch is higher than this one. Okay, let's see.
I always literally am struggling with my eyebrows sometimes when I'm trying to make them perfect.
Arch is a lot more dramatic on this side.
Super dramatic, but like it's so funny because when I do my eyebrows like every day, I don't really think about it too much. But like when it's coming for like a photo shoot look, obviously you want to make it look perfect. So it's so funny that like, you know, trying to get that symmetry between them is always like a funny struggle. But I eventually figured it out. And also I have very small eyebrows that it's like, you know, like I don't have a lot to work with, so I really have to put in the work. And then I finally, you know, use that trick of them putting like the concealer underneath your eyebrows to really enhance it. And I was like, wow, it really does make a difference. Like I mean, I guess because I didn't do it on myself, I didn't really see much of a difference, but I'm like, okay, I get it now.
Let's do our eyes.
My favorite thing is really doing eyeshadow.
This one, that one.
And so I'm really trying to go for, again, that soft, smoky eye that Iman had in her picture. And so I'm picking like, you know, browns and like kind of sand colors to get that smoky effect. And then hopefully I could add the golds to kind of enhance it. But I didn't want to make it too dramatic because again it's trying to go for that latte look, so making it nice soft browns. And because my skin's already brown, like you know, just trying to make sure that like it blends but also that you see it, so it doesn't blend in too much with my skin tone, but you kind of see some of those shadows and those shades and stuff. So very fun to look at. But yeah, to talk about my year, literally like I remember on my 34th birthday last year when I woke up, I felt so much peace. And it's like interesting to like explain because I don't think I've ever that I remember. Like normally when I wake up on my birthdays, obviously I'm excited, but there's always like a little bit of anxiety in me. Like I'm like, okay, like you know, things that I may want to get done that day to celebrate myself, or say that I have plans with friends or whatever. Like there's always a little bit of anxiety, and it's like, all right, like wow, I'm so grateful, thank you God for, you know, allowing me to see another birthday. But like this birthday, I didn't wake up with any of that, like ever. Like no anxiety, no, you know, this sense of like I have to rush to get things done. Like literally I just woke up with so much peace, and it just really set off the energy for the rest of the year. Before I get into that, but I decided to add some faux glitter freckles into this look because I was like, you know, I want to have a little bit of that sparkle, a little bit of that magic. Like yes, I'm going for the latte look, but it needs a little bit of you know, it needs a little bit of glitter, and I love glitter. So I was, you know, scrolling on Pinterest and TikTok, and I was like, you know what, I really like this like faux freckled look, but how about if I just got it in like a glitter format? So basically this is what I have on my face. So if you're wondering like what the heck did she just put on her face, that's what it is. It's basically like, you know, it's almost like when you get like those fake tattoos when you're younger. You just have to put it on your skin, let it stay on for a little bit, and then you peel it off. So that's what I did, and it came out really nice. Look how glamorous it looks. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so fun. It really is, like doing your own makeup.
Already I feel a lot more glamorous. It's supposed to be like stars. Some of them didn't come off like the best, but it's okay. I think it still works. There's some setting powder on it to make it stay a little bit more. But so far, like, it looks really beautiful.
So beautiful. And for this like look, I really wanted to again celebrate those brown shades. So I got myself some brown faux eyelashes, individual eyelashes, and I also got myself some brown mascara. The first time I'm ever, you know, applicating these things.
The other side.
And if you've been around for these, you know, birthday videos, you will know that I always have such a hard time putting in faux lashes. They take me forever, and that's why I kind of try to, like, I avoid it unless the look needs it for these, like, glamorous photo shoots. Like, normally I'll be like, you know what, I'm just going to put 3 coats of mascara and hope that my eyelashes smile. But sometimes you really do need the lashes. It really does amplify the look. It makes it more, it just elevates it. It just looks beautiful. But it takes me forever to be putting those things on. But you know what I discovered this year? Oh my gosh, so many things I discovered and made my life more glamorous in ways. First it was the gold nails. Now I also discovered that individual eyelashes are a lot easier for me to put on. And who would have thought? I literally struggled putting on those, you know, regular lashes. I don't even know if they have a name. The ones with the band. It would take me forever to put those things on. But the individual ones, it's probably because you have more control and you could put them, you know, where you want. But again, shout out to my nail technician, because she's the one that introduced me to those. She gave me like some free samples to try, and I've never looked back. Like, I wore them when I went to go see Beyonce this year. I wore them for this photo shoot, and I love it. So yeah, again, you know, just completing this look, making sure that I'm putting in my blush, because again, even if I'm going for mocha, a girl loves blush. I love blush. So I'm just like kind of incorporating all those brown tones, but also bringing in a little bit of those rosy tones. So I'm making my cheeks rosy, not extremely rosy, but you know, I don't know, I always say that and I end up putting more blush than ever, but I really do love blush. It's so pretty. And then I'm just, you know, making sure I do the finishing touches. But my goodness, this is kind of hard to do the voiceovers. But let me just tell you that year 34, what made it so worthy this year is because I literally finally discovered my self-worth. And I really think that it's because these past, I guess, 5 years now of really being deeply devoted to my healing journey, and doing that self-work, doing the shadow work, going to therapy for a little bit, being part of like wellness communities, like really centering my mental health and my overall wellness. That's why I got to this level of peace, and I was able to really see that, like, I've always been worthy, I've always been enough. I just literally didn't know. It's definitely a rebirth, and as a Scorpio, I go through multiple rebirths throughout my life, but I would say that this is like one of the rebirths that I've been very conscious of, because my consciousness has grown so much, my discernment has grown so much. Like, it's kind of interesting now, like sometimes I feel like it's almost like you're studying people or situations, because you're able to see the BS and stuff, and you're able to just kind of read things for like what they really are. Even if people could be lying to your face, you're kind of like, yeah, I know what this is. Like, you know, I've been doing this work for a while. I know that you're lying. I know that this situation isn't really what it is. I know that I'm right. Like, whatever it is, like once you become more conscious, it's almost like it's a whole new world. And I'm just really so grateful that I was able to get that this year. Like, you know, and this is something that like is ongoing. This is a journey. So it's not like, you know, I finally figured it out and I'm like set for life. No, this is literally like something I'm going to continue to keep on learning as I grow, and get older and wiser, hopefully. But I don't know. It's also been interesting because it's like when you go on the healing journey, you have to really embrace a lot of solitude, and sometimes the loneliness does get really really heavy. But then when I think about like years before this, like years before I was on my healing journey, I would be around a lot of people and I still felt lonely. And it was really because, like I probably wasn't in the best environments and all that. And I've talked about that in previous birthday makeup tutorial videos about like my journey with that and finding my tribe. And I'm very confident that I will. But I will say that even if I'm still on that journey of finding like my people, I'm really happy that I found myself, and I'm really really happy that I like have really good community. And the communities that I'm part of, like, they do great things in the world, whether that's like through the creative arts or that's through like social justice. Like, it makes me happy to be around other great amazing human beings, and lean on them when I can. I guess I'm still not good at asking for help. So again, all of this stuff that I'm trying to unlearn and relearn, and I guess especially like the recovering people pleaser in me, I'm grateful that this year I started the universe really really made sure that like I was practicing that for real. Like, okay, if you want to unlearn how to not be a people pleaser, I'm going to put you in a whole bunch of different situations to see if you're going to keep your word. And best believe I had to either keep my word or I would further be drained of, over giving and over caring and being so considerate of other people when they wouldn't give you that same type of energy. And that part has definitely been heartbreaking for me. I think I've really been conscious of it again the most this year, because again, my intuition would tell me years before when someone is, only seeing me as a resource, or someone's using me, or someone doesn't really like me for real but is pretending like they do. Yeah, all of that has been heartbreaking. But I think this year I've been grieving so long, for so many years, grieving the things that like past versions of me experienced that felt unfair and felt unjust, and just learning to be like, all right, instead of me carrying that guilt and that self-shame of like, man, I wish I knew better to like advocate for myself or get myself out of a situation, I could just like be really proud that I know that information now and give love to those old versions of myself, because the last thing the old version of yourself needs is more guilt or more shame. It needs love, you know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing, and I think all of those things have really freed me this year. It's really freed me because I'm finally considering myself more. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna change and of not being a kind person, because I really love the way God made me. I love being a kind person. I love being someone that gives and cares and loves deeply. But there also has to be a balance. There has to be stronger boundaries, so that way I don't always feel so over depleted because I'm giving so much, and the scales are not balanced. And I think this year I had a few situations that reminded me of that. That was a little heartbreaking. But also now I feel better, because like I'm like, all right, now I know, and now I know how to deal with those more. And I think also when you do the work and you actually start to practice what you're hoping to have in your life, like if that's more balanced relationship, if that's more peace, if that's more self-respect, the universe will definitely get you there. And I feel like for me, having a stronger relationship with my spiritual team, which includes God and like my ancestors, my spirit guides, all that, I feel like that's really helped me feel less lonely in this journey, but also has really made me feel so loved. Like, I think that's such a beautiful love story in itself, that you have so many, all of us have ancestors that majority we've never met but have our backs and look out for us. At least that's how I feel. So I feel less lonely with that, and I feel more guided and supported. And I feel really like grateful too, because I feel like, especially when you get to this milestone age, right, especially for women, like once you get into your 30s, it's almost like your people are rushing you to get to certain levels of, like, say, motherhood or marriage or stuff in your career, whatever. Like, I feel like the message is like you're always not enough, even if you don't want all those things. It's like it's pushing the message that you're not enough, that you're getting older, yada yada. Oh my gosh. But I feel like because I've been really just focusing on getting to know who I am. Also making sure that my inner child, because we're besties now, like all the younger parts of myself feel loved, seen, heard, and celebrated. That like I haven't even been focused on, you know, all these pressures that society puts on us. It doesn't mean that it doesn't cross my mind, but I've been really focusing on myself, and I think that's a blessing from the universe to have this deep love story. The best love story you'll ever have in the world is with yourself. And so I really am grateful that I've had this time to really grow, develop who I am, get to know who I am, and just give myself a lot more grace and celebrate myself, take risks, take trips, you know, detach from having like a lack mindset that I've literally had like more than like all my life. And also detach from having a survivor's mentality into a thriving mentality. And in this my soft girl era, it's been really good. So I'm so grateful for chapter 34. It really has been one of the best years of my 30s, and I'm looking forward to all the great things that are coming up in my 30s and beyond. So shout out to chapter 34 for loving me, for teaching me my self-worth, and for all the fun adventures we've had in between, the sorrows, the heartbreaks, the laughs, the joy, all of it's worth it.
I'm gonna have to reapply this because I'm gonna drink my tea. I need my black tea before I go, because I need caffeine. So anyways, thank you for watching this so far. I will obviously keep you updated with all the looks, but so grateful. So much more to say when I come back. More.
And I have to say, this was such a fun photo shoot. They all have been. All my photo shoots in my 30s have been so much fun. And I want to really give shout out to Jenny for capturing, you know, these behind the scene video footage. She's such an amazing photographer. So please support her. And we just had so much fun. Like this day, you know, we got lucky. The weather was beautiful. It was a beautiful Thursday in August. We got there at the beach. Nobody was there, so we basically kind of had the beach to ourselves. And the weather was great. The funny thing is that the sand was really cold, but the water was so warm. So as you can see me over here just swimming freely, like I was super warm. But as soon as my feet touched the sand, I was like, oh my gosh, it's freezing. But this was such a beautiful photo shoot. It captured exactly what I wanted: the energies, the journeys, the lessons, the blessings that I've gotten in chapter 34, and, you know, all the fun things coming ahead. So thank you to Jenny, to everybody this year that just like showed so much love, and all the things that I've learned. I'm really looking forward to chapter 35, but thank you, chapter 34, for being so kind to me, and I will see you guys next year for another makeup tutorial.